Alright, howdy everybody. Oh, hang on. A hell of a way to start the last episode. Howdy. This should be, okay, there we go. It's a little weird. Thought I was grabbing the right window. But yeah, it's me. I'm back. Sorry about, missing a couple of updates. I just never got a schedule together this week. I was distracted with like a bunch of stuff. But basically, I've got a couple announcements I need to make. Nothing serious or anything. It's just kind of pertaining to this weekend and also some stuff not related to me at all that's been happening recently. And that's gonna be all in the outro. We're gonna be mainly. I'm just gonna mainly talk about that since that's kind of like I think that's like the best time to like take a moment to sort of kind of get my marbles together and tell you guys what's going on. But for right now, we're just gonna focus on the game. I think the stream's probably gonna be a little short. We're on the last, I think the second to last part, last or second to last. I think we're definitely in the end game and probably coming up to the finale. So yeah, I have no idea how long this was gonna be. I figured we'd be done with this game last week, but we'll just finish it up real quick. If it's like really, really short, I'll probably swap to Gaiden, but I think if it's like I don't have like a ton of energy today, and I'm not very focused, I think, so I'm probably going to probably just I think it's probably gonna finish this game, and then we'll see how I feel after it. I hope my computer survives the finale. It's been a little touch and go. Also, heads up, my aiming might be... it'll probably be fine. Yeah, it'll probably be fine. I'm wearing a splint right now on my wrist. I didn't break anything, but I had a visit with a doctor recently, and they checked my wrist, and I've got a tiny bit of carpal tunnel. Not like, I don't need surgical correction or anything like that, but they're like, yeah, wear a splint when you use the computer for right now. So we'll see. Anywho, last we left off, we saw this cutscene already. Last we left off, a lot happened. We tried to summon Alan, and then we found out that Alan isn't really Alan. Well, he is Alan, but we found out that, the guy, so we thought originally that we picked up Alan from the lake, but Alan turned out to be Scratch, and we thought Scratch was a separate entity, but we learned that who we were dealing with was actually Alan. Alan just kind of got taken over by the darkness because he shot himself and realized that the guy he was fighting and dealing with was himself. And then, like, I guess in that moment of weakness, the darkness took him over right when he got summoned by Saga. But we did a whole summoning sequence with Saga because we were trying to get the real Alan out of the lake, but it turns out we already did. It was a little confusing. Basically, we needed art and the clicker to like do things, right, to try to change the story and then create a phenomenon using the dark magic to like in order to modify, like, I guess, fate or like what the story that's like coming to life in real life. And that means we needed art, so we got the geezers together for one last concert, and we needed the clicker, which we already had, and we needed to be by the lake to make it happen. So we had a whole fucking concert by the lake, killed a bunch of dudes, popped the clicker, and then summoned Alan, but we summoned Alan into the past somehow, and that was why Alan came out of the lake way back at like the beginning of the game when we grabbed him originally while we were playing a Saga. So it was really, really bizarre. We had one last showdown with Dark Alan, basically jammed him into a cage, shined a bunch of light on him, and that kind of purged the darkness from him, like temporarily. Well, it purged the darkness from him, but then the darkness just slurped right back into Casey, and then Casey became like the avatar of the darkness, and then and then Saga got tossed into the lake. So Saga got dumped into the dark place. Alan's back in the real world, and now Casey's a problem because he's been filled with darkness, and now Alan, I think, as of right now, is stuck in like an alternate dimension that's kind of being formed by the darkness as like an eternal Deerfest. Is kind of how it interpreted it. I did a little bit of reading. I read some. Well, by reading, that's a very sophisticated way to say I looked some stuff up on Reddit. And from what I was reading from other people, people kind of brought up something I forgot about Control, where like everything's about rituals in this sort of like Remedy verse, essentially. And I realized that Deerfest is a form of ritual. It's an annual sort of occurrence, and then people get their floats together, which represent certain scenes, and then that is a form of ritual with like the deer and everything. So that's why the darkness kind of became, I guess, like enamored with it, because it was like this sort of ritual that it can like capture and then use for itself. But anyway, Alan's stuck in Eternal Deerfest. Everyone over there is crazy and brainwashed. Meanwhile, we are stuck in the dark place, and we need to get to Parliament Tower. Right now, we need to go through a door that is somewhere. We need to get to the statue first. We need to find the statue where... Do we have a flashlight? We do. We have a flashlight and 12 bullets. And then we need to talk to Breaker first, and then grab the statue, like investigate a couple things, because the game didn't autosave like right before I did our thing. Okay, here we go. And then after that, we'll open a door, and then we'll go down. Hopefully we don't fall through the floor this time.
Sorry, this place likes to play.
Yeah, this game's kind of confusing.
Breaker? What happened to you? How did you end up in the dark place?
I was brought here.
I think we already had this conversation. Yeah.
Who is this door person?
He's here.
We can interrogate
Somewhere.
Door real quick, but
I've been seeing his
Saga
face.
just kind of files it away for later.
to
I'm
get to
gonna
Parliament
assume that's a
Tower Plaza.
DLC
Do you
problem,
have
is
any
what
idea
Door
where it
is.
This place, it's like trying
Or
to
like
find a
some
way
separate
around a
side
dream.
game like American Nightmare.
I've been trying to map it, but
Can I see that page, Tim?
of course. In fact, it's the page I tried to give you.
Thank you, Tim.
I'm
You're
gonna
a
keep
real
looking
one.
for Door. The closer I get, the
Maybe we could
closer I
play
feel
as
to waking
Tim.
up.
That'd actually be really cool,
I need
like a
to
little
find a man
standalone
back
DLC where you play as Tim and then you fight Door.
Warland Door walked across the rain-slicked tiles of Caldera Street Plaza. He stopped at the door to the construction yard. A poster for his talk show hung there. He stepped through, willing it to take him to Parliament Tower Plaza.
I know what I need to do. The door to Parliament Tower Plaza was at the construction yard.
Okay, yeah, there's the door. Wasn't open before. Let's do the profiling of Door real quick, just to get that out of the way. Look at how happy. Everyone here is just haggard and disheveled. Casey looks like he just woke up. And then we got like Scratch and other Saga who are just melting, and then Door here's got a nice charismatic smile.
This is the first time I've seen a page.
I actually really liked what he said here. What was it?
Who is he?
A door that stands between two rooms is in both. A door that can lead anywhere is everywhere.
That's fucking cool.
That door is the center.
I love it.
He governs the currents of reality.
With all the powers mixed up in this, it's hard to know who's playing who. Opening too many doors. This isn't important right now. I can look into it later. The page describes him moving through the door. How
Did we
can
do
I
this
that?
one?
The
I think we
dark
did.
place has many
Yeah.
faces and many names. It is a mirror, reflecting all possible realities. The family of doors have the power to shift between these realities, here and elsewhere.
He's a
If I can find
teleportator.
a way to navigate through this nightmare. Maybe I can find a way to get back home.
So yeah, the general vibe I was getting from what Saga was saying in these little portions had me thinking that I had a pretty decent chunk of gameplay ahead of me, so I decided to stop, especially since I think I probably was going to try to play for like another 30 minutes or so, but then we came up to the unnice stuff. So we are going to be fighting, that's annoying. Just give it a second, because last time I went down the staircase, I fell through the staircase and out of the world. Please? Okay, we're good. Could you imagine? Just permanently fucked. Oof. This is the subway. The words of whatever were over there. Don't appreciate that we're back here, because we were down here for a good long while with Alan, but whatever. Also, this is strange. I understand what I had. Oh my god. What I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. There's a long journey through the night back to the light. It's not a lake. It's an ocean. The graffiti still says don't write. Return. Dude, I love all the signs. It's so cool how, like, it's weird at first. How, like, it looks really normal at first. Tessa, wait, you think you're a god? You think you could just make up stuff? You think you could play with people's lives and kill them when you think it adds to the drama? You're in the story now, and I'll make you suffer. As a teenager just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration for me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer. I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple hours to get to the coal mine. That's from Alan Wake 1. It's fucking great. Identity theft is on the rise. You may not be the only you out there. Carry a portable light with you on the way to the subway. That's fucking cool. I love all the atmospheric detail in this game. Looper Express to Mirror Heights except late nights. Late nights you and here. Dark Avenue downtown by a bridge. Damn. Alright, how do we progress? Oh, this way? Got it. Got a couple of toolboxes. For me, the tool. More bullets, a flare, very cool. Shotgun.
I made it. I need to get up to the street and find that statue.
Hang on. I need stuff. This is a survival horror game. We live and die by stuff. By stuff and my general capacity for gaming, which as we know... which, as we know, is fleeting at the best of times. Oh boy.
Enough already.
Shut up, kid. I've got 16 batteries, so I can kind of blow through them, but... not get too weird. I think we're okay.
The clicker.
The clicker!
And some kind of bullet. Shining
We've
with
got a
light. How
magic
did the
bullet?
clicker get here from Washington?
Bullet of light. These guys are just taking it. Look at that. Thick skulls on these dudes. Ugh. Think we're okay?
The
We're
phone
okay.
again.
I only have a med kit, don't I? Brutal. These guys always get me with the little teleporting. I just keep like the dodging in this game is actually a lot tighter than I expect it to be. Like the precision that you're supposed to dodge with. It's kind of like it's a little like Dark Souls.
Yes?
Hello. You don't know me.
It's like the Dark Souls of survival horror games.
Hold on. How did you know the clicker would be there?
This is important. Alan's lost. He
Is this Alice?
doesn't have the ending. He needs your help to finish the story.
How am I supposed to help him from here?
Die.
Okay.
We
I'm in
need
the
to
dark
talk.
place. Wake is in Washington. I could talk to him in overlaps before. My mind place is more powerful than I ever knew. I can try to contact him.
Wait. Hang on. I just noticed there's like some noises that happen when you zoom in like this. Okay, maybe it's just Alan. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Maybe you have to like turn your volume up a bit, but like... Yeah, you hear that background noise? That only pops up when I like hover over this option.
Alan,
Ooh.
we need to talk about the ending.
Saga, what is this?
My mind place. I've reached out to you like this before. But I understand more about it now.
You see visions too.
Dude, the line
I
between
used to
voice
think they
actor
were
and actor
ideas,
continues to get blurrier.
inspiration, but they're
It
real.
basically
Just like
doesn't
this now.
exist.
I try to use them to make the story come true.
So this is coming from both of us. Maybe that's how we could communicate in the overlaps. We could use this to stop Scratch.
First, I need the ending.
So there's a problem with the ending?
I don't have the ending.
Writer's block. No.
Figure it out. I don't know what to do. Fuck. I'm so sorry. This whole thing is a fucking mess.
I agree. But we can still figure this out. And what exactly does perfect mean?
The elements of the ending need to come from the story's pre-existing parts.
Dude, all the juddering around's really
To
killing
make
me
matters
here.
worse, this is a horror story.
Ooh.
So the ending has to be earned. Set up by the story.
Oh, I might have done this
You
backwards.
can't build a case without supporting evidence.
That's the only way to make it stick.
You don't need to tell me this is a horror story.
Right. The ending has to fit the genre if it's going to work. In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters.
I heard that one.
There must be a way to bring a hero into the story.
If there is a hero, they will ultimately pay a heavy price.
Yeah, she's gonna die.
Well, if the ending has to fit the story, this is how I see it. Return is a story about a story that comes true. And I'm a character in the story.
Not just a character. The hero.
The protagonist.
Okay, a hero. In any case, I've been through hell to be here. And this is my life. It feels earned to me that I rise above the story and be there to create the ending.
Yes. That's what we're doing. Here, now. We're figuring out the ending I need to write.
Man, we're just figuring it out.
I can't let the horror story take Logan and Casey. They were dragged into this. They need to survive. Non-negotiable.
Not just them. We need to try to save everyone. I have an idea how to help Casey. He's a real person who I twisted into a character. He isn't my creation, so he isn't a suitable host for the Dark Presence. I can write that into the ending to drive that fucking thing out of him.
Okay. Well, looks like we're taking control. The protagonist has the... It's like D&D. The characters have taken control, and I have lost it. The DM no longer determines what is happening.
This isn't Scratch's ending. But this isn't your ending either. This is our ending.
We did it
You aren't the only one
together.
deciding these things anymore.
You're right. I can't do this alone. Every time I write, things only get worse.
You beat this thing back in 2010, Alan. And here you are doing the same again. You're a hero too.
Aw.
We're in this together.
Then let's bring it home.
Hell yeah.
The ending will have to be dark, no matter what. The more people we save, the greater the cost. And the hero must pay the price.
One of the heroes. The scales always need to balance. Fuck it. Let's go with this.
Are you sure?
There's no time for anything better. Scratch could be here any second.
Then that's our ending.
Did he just beam the concept over to her
I'll find a way to get it to
without letting me on what's happening? That's horrible.
And I'll get the pages down. See you on the other side.
Brother, I'm the reader. You need me. Alright. Alright. Alright.
I need to retrace my steps back to Caldera Street Plaza. I arrived in the dark place through the fountain. Maybe I can leave that way too.
Yeah, I don't want to go over there. A bit too much nonsense happening in the plaza
Caldera
right now.
Plaza is back through the subway. I have to hurry.
No, I'm hurrying. This is as fast as you're running, Saga. Alright, hopefully that's all the fighting we have to do, because I don't have any meds, and I'm not very good at dodging. Rough day. I guess we need to go that way. There's some schmutz over here. Hey there, lads. I need to move. What are you doing up there, buddy? Wow, last bullet, Jesus. Yeah, I was getting a little too. I was getting a little bit too bullet trigger happy, but whatever. I guess that's all we got. That's rough. That's the way up. Is there any loot? We're just gonna have to dodge people? These guys aren't real. Alright. We'll have to use like a flashbang or something. Or we can just do this. Cool. Ooh! End of the road. That's... Oh god, real humans.
Alan?
Holy shit, she's real.
I finished it. The ending we talked about.
I have the clicker. And the bullet of light. Let's do
Show
this.
me the bullet of
I
light.
have to be the one to do it.
I feel like I've always been on this journey. Okay. It must end here. This darkness. What lies under the surface now shifts. A play of shadows catching my eye, thrusting my face into the water.
It's Sam Lake.
It's shockingly cold, past the mirror of the surface. And I will see.
KC?
How did Alan get the clicker from Casey? When did that happen?
A white, searing light of truth that for a flash pierces the shadows and reveals the hidden horror. And in that moment of silence, the whispered message finally heard.
This is the part where our plan doesn't work, right?
Come on, you motherfucker! Come on!
What if there's nothing waiting to be revealed? The play of shadows fool us all, subterfuge to get our price of admission. Darkness not as a monster, but as emptiness. We're none the wiser. No answers, no truths. The hero turns to look inside, is destroyed by what he sees, and is redeemed. Saga said we're both heroes. I'll pay that price. So will she. We are here to kill the monster. I pray nothing comes after this. Nothing will sleep. This is how we win. Is it too easy?
Yes.
What if this is still the dark place? Another dream to wake up from, always coming back to the beginning. The memory of what came before burned away by this terrible realization. Maybe it's a mercy, forgetting. To know nothing when we loop around, back to the...
We did it, Casey. We saved the Pacific Northwest. Yo.
Is it over? Anderson?
Come on. Cliffhanger? You're doing this to me? You're doing this to me? Ilmo and Yako were played... They're both at the same name? Holy shit. Oh god, mate, I think I need to skip this. Sorry. Big thank you, Remedy. Really appreciate all you've done. Fantastic people. Very impressive.
This part is just for you. After the haunting started, I got in touch with an organization that was still looking into what happened in Bright Falls. I went to their offices and...
FPC.
something happened there. After I got home, I could suddenly remember everything. I remembered being trapped inside that lake. A dark ocean with echoes of myself. My fears, my photos. Inside a dark tide of madness. The same events and images looping again and again. And then I saw a light. Your light. You dove in just as I swam out. You never drowned. And you're still there reaching out. That is what the haunting is. I can see you because I've been there too. I chose to come back to the dark place. That is why I put on this exhibition. I had to mislead you so that I could get you to where you needed to be. The only way out of your loop is destruction or ascension. Light or dark. And we've covered the destruction part many times over. And we're getting to the ascension bit by bit. Time means nothing here. You'll still need to go through the loop. But I will keep showing you the images you need to see. The light you need to see. Until you're ready. Alan, I think we're getting close.
Radical. Okay.
It's not a loop.
It's a spiral.
It's a spiral.
Okay, that was the ending. Okay, dude, I don't know. This game's freaky. There's Sam Lake. Oh, my guy. Yeah, last time I let the credits roll and oh what is this? What the hell is the final draft? It's loading, whatever it is.
Back to the beginning.
Oh shit.
With the memory of the past loop already fading fast. But while it lingers, I know there's hope. We're not doomed to repeat our failures in an eternal loop. This is a spiral.
Oh my god, it's the fucking reflection in the lake again. Oh.
A fictional poet once said, "Beyond the shadow you settle for, there is a miracle illuminated. I will not settle for a shadow. I'll find the miracle through the night."
Do I have to play the whole game again?
It's not just victims and monsters. I see now there are heroes as well. We can find our way through the darkness. We will break through the surface. We will emerge into the light.
If this slides over and I see Nightingale's naked ass again, I'm gonna make a noise. I'm gonna make a vigorous, violent noise that originates from my gut. Remedy! Remedy! Okay. I'm gonna leave this for another day. I think that's what I'm gonna do right now. We're only 30 minutes into the stream, but I think this is a whole thing. Return Zero the Cult. It's a full... I'm gonna have to play this game even more now. No! Okay, we're not doing this right now. We're not doing this right now. I'm beside myself right now. Okay, that was the first half question mark of Alan Wake 2. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, that was something. Yeah, I don't think I've played a game like this before. That's like, I didn't finish Nier Automata, so I'd say I haven't played a game like this before. What can I say about this game? I can see why people compared it to Kingdom Hearts on Twitter, just in terms of, like, it's got some similarities. Like, it's got a really weird... When the story is straightforward with you, it sounds extremely, like tropey or generic or familiar, but everything else is really weird and obscure. Like when this game's really bizarre because it's simultaneously extremely straightforward with how things work and what it's gonna do, but it's also everything else is just super obscure. Like, what's actually happening in the dark place is just up in the fucking air. Like, you don't know what's going on with it, but but when they actually start talking about it, when Alan's just like, this is a horror story, we need a hero, we need an ending, and we need to figure something out, someone's got to pay a price. And then, like, you'll be like, okay, sick, we need to come up with an ending. And then we get a fucking Deus Ex Machina in the form of a bullet of life that Saga shoots straight through Alan's fucking head. And, like... that just is there, and then you're like, and now we're doing this final draft thing, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on now? What's happening now? I don't understand. So it's a weird mix of straightforward and cryptic. It's throwing me off. But yeah, overall as a package, I really like this game, but a couple caveats. I think the open world exploration is weird. I'm not big on open world exploration in games like this where you're extremely limited on your resources. Like, there's no way to get them back. This game doesn't have, like, a store or a storage or anything like that where you can guaranteed get some equipment back. So as a result, I'm a little hesitant to just go out and explore, because if I run into a fight and I, like, don't have batteries, I'm shit out of luck, you know what I mean? And, like, I did have too much stuff, I think, most of the time. Like, I was struggling with inventory management with Saga, and there were some things that I just refused to use that I could have probably put to good use. Like flares are there to give you some space so that you can fight enemies a bit better. And that means that you can, that kind of makes it a little, that makes it easier. But the like going out and just running around the big grand open expanses of Bright Falls and the Dark Place just to get more stuff didn't really set well with me. So I didn't really explore as much as I probably could have, even when things should have opened up after I got the bolt cutters. But I did like Saga's sections a lot. I enjoyed fighting the Taken on her end. I wasn't having nearly as much fun with Alan, just because I think Alan's is very beatable if you're better than me and have a cooler head. Like, one thing I noticed is that it's really just about dodging right when they teleport into you, but they're teleporting into you. So it's just kind of like there's a window there to dodge if you're careful. But I would just, like, they'd get close and then I'd panic and I'd spam dodge, and it'd just be like, it looked like they were just fucking like lagging into me, you know what I mean? Like you're playing Halo and then someone's running up on you with an energy sword and then they just teleport into you or something like that. Except it's a shadow dude with a pipe. And I thought that was a little bullshit. I thought the Dark Place was cool, and like trying to explore a space that feels extremely dreamlike but still horrific, like very very much a nightmare, and like runs on its own logic, I think is really cool. And I feel like that features a lot in horror games, but isn't always fully explored. But yeah, I think overall as a package, I think the game's great. I'd give it like an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10, probably is what I would give it. If I were to put like roughly, I think I might do that for a game or two, just like give a number, just roughly where I'd put it. I think 8.5 to 9 is kind of my general, like 8.5 and above. 8 and above is me saying this is really, really good. And then like 7 is this game has flaws, but I enjoyed it. And then like 4 to 6 is this game wasn't the most fun to play. I had some good times, had some bad times, and then like below 4 is just don't buy this. I put Hard West 1 at like a solid 6.5 to 7, and then I put Hard West 2 at like a 5. That's kind of like that sort of thing. But yeah, no, I enjoy this game. I guess I think I'm probably gonna let this game sit, and like we're probably gonna take a break from it for a little while, and then we'll do the final draft. Obviously this would be better if I do it fresh, because then like I was already noticing, because like Alan's opening narration was different, and Nightingale getting up from this coast, he was actually saying things to himself now instead of it just being completely silent. So I assume some changes are going to happen and things are going to be different, and overall it's going to be like maybe a more triumphant experience. Maybe the game will be shorter, maybe we'll skip some parts. I have no idea. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it was a cool twist how at the end Alice 100% actually did know about Alan, but she was trying to manipulate the Dark Place by like throwing in particular imagery in order to feed a certain narrative into it to try to get Alan to basically emerge out from the darkness into the light, and I guess like ascend, she said. So maybe like become, like go beyond it, become more powerful, I don't know. Or maybe that'll just be leaving it forever. I'm not really sure how that'll work, but this is a lot. I didn't know this game would have a New Game Plus, and the New Game Plus would modify things. That's crazy to me. But yeah, probably gonna play Alan Wake 2 again at some point in the future. But I think for right now I'll probably play like a short game to like replace it in the Friday slot in coming weeks, and then afterwards we'll probably pick it up. We'll probably pick the game up again. Yeah, like I said, this is gonna be. I figured this would be a short stream. I was expecting it to be a little longer. I'm not really I'm not really in the mood to start up Gaiden right now. I don't know. I'm just really not feeling it, so we're probably going to keep this pretty short. I also wanna finish editing a VOD and getting it out. So I kind of want to just work on other creative pursuits right now. So I think this is probably going to be the main. That's going to be it for the gameplay for tonight. Despite everything. Also, I mentioned that I wanted to say a couple things at the end. So for this weekend. Things are going to be a little difficult for me. Not a little difficult, but things might be. Things are a little unpredictable. That's what I actually meant. Things are going to be a little unpredictable this weekend. I might be able to stream both days. I might only be able to stream tomorrow. I might not be able to stream at all. We will see. I'm kind of anticipating a disruption to my internet this weekend. Some stuff's happening, and I don't want to make promises I can't keep, at least not today. And I'm going to try to stream Gaiden tomorrow. We'll see about Infinite Wealth. It depends on how things go. But for right now, part of the reason why I'm not too bummed that I didn't put a schedule up this week is because I'm not really totally sure what's going to happen the next couple of days. But this weekend's a little weird, so it's gonna be. Will I stream twice this weekend or not? I don't know. So I'll probably just put out an announcement on Twitter. I'll try to do it ahead of time, but at the very latest, I'll do it right before I'm about to stream, and then I'll put that out, and then put like an actual notification, and then we will see it. And then I'll put it out, and then I'll start streaming. But yeah, other thing I wanted to say is, so we're done with like the channel stuff. I just wanted to give a little PSA real quick, just because I consider myself a VTuber, and I consider, like, if I were bigger, I'd consider myself part of the VTubing community. And I just kind of wanted to say something real quick. Just kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. It's nothing unique. I think other people have said something. You did miss it. I'm sorry, Kurt. Did you get, like, notified on Twitch super late? I'm sorry. It's, yeah, it turns out it turns out there was a lot less game than I was expecting. There was only, like, 35 minutes left. And we got a really interesting ending. And we got a really interesting thing. I'm going to be playing this game more, basically. I don't want to spoil anything for you. I'll try to put the VOD up as quick as possible, but there's gonna be more Alan Wake 2 in the future, like near future. So this is not the end of this game. You see this thing? This is a whole thing. So we'll see that in a little bit. But I just wanted to take like 10. I'm kind of at the end of the stream right now, Kurt. I didn't want to stream for that long, but I had a little like PSA I wanted to give real quick, just because like a thing happened basically. A bit of drama occurred. I'm not going to get into too many details, but basically there's a VTuber corporation out there that terminated someone's contract, and the circumstances were really bad. It sounded like from the statements on both sides that the circumstances were really poor. And as a result, there's like potential legal action looming over the whole thing, and it kind of turned into a whole public-facing shit show. Basically, people were saying things on both sides. I'd say the person that got terminated was being a lot more careful and respectful about it than the company. The company was being really, really bold, and I think pretty foolhardy, in my opinion, as someone with not a lot of experience in this sort of thing. But one thing I noticed that I kind of wanted to comment on is that this kind of happens a lot with internet drama, especially drama that breaks containment and like emerges outside of its existing space. I think like some content creators like Moist Critical, and I don't watch these guys, but I saw their video on it. Some Ordinary Gamers, the guy's name is Mudahar, I think it is. They kind of had their own commentary on the situation, and they were kind of very significantly outside looking in and being a little hyperbolic about it, and I kind of noticed that it was my first time really seeing internet drama for the first time, and I could kind of see the whole ecosystem working together for once. Basically, there was, I kind of noticed that it's sort of this sort of self-perpetuating cycle where, like, you have, because you know how, like, when you make content on the internet, you're kind of encouraged to be as noticeable and as you have to exaggerate things or emphasize things or be like loud and exciting in order to basically keep people invested in whatever you're talking about. You can't really be like calm and like placid about things, because otherwise people will think it's not that big of a deal and maybe not stick around. But as a result, whenever content creators talk about something, they get really excited about it, and they tend to, as a result, they tend to jump to conclusions a lot and try to go for like the most extreme thing that they can talk about in a given situation. And then people who see that or are in the same situation on social media like Twitter will often do the same thing. And sometimes the content creators will take takes from Twitter, and sometimes the Twitter people will take takes from content creators, and then they just kind of feed into each other. Yeah, it's, yeah, I'm sure, I've watched a couple folding ideas videos, and it kind of results in people being as stressed out about every given situation as possible. And I kind of saw it like in action when with this VTuber drama, and I think one thing, my personal feeling on it, I don't matter obviously in the whole scheme of things. What I say isn't that like impactful, but like if anyone's out there and they know what I'm talking about, the main thing I want to say is that we don't really know anything. We have the worst possible amount of information, basically, about the situation, where we've got enough information to speculate and make guesses, but we don't have enough information to really know what's going on. We have nothing concrete, and we don't really have a firm... We have nothing concrete, and we have nothing that's in personal connection to, like, the people out there that they, like, put out. You know what I mean? It's not like... These aren't, like, court documents. These are just what people have said and put on the internet. So as a result, a lot of the stuff I've been reading has been insane. So I've seen people come up with theories, come up with narratives, come up with like this is illegal, stuff like that, even though like one thing about law is that there's a lot of nuance. Like whether something's permitted or not really depends on the circumstances. Like for example, someone sending information to another person is protected in a court of law if it's like part of discovery, like it's like a lawsuit has started. But if that happens before those like protections are in place, it's a little bit more muddy. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a cut and dry yes or no situation, which is pretty common when it comes to legal stuff. So a lot of people were like to jump to conclusions because they were really excitable. People were really ready for something extreme to happen. But as of right now, there was one last statement and things have been quiet since then. And that's kind of what I expect things to be like from here on out. Because to be honest, it's a situation where an employer, a former employee, is talking to an employer and then trying to basically have their rights like understood and have themselves respected as a person. And that's a very private conversation. You know what I mean? There's this sense of social justice that a lot of people had, which I think is like, I think wanting the best and wanting bad people to be exposed is completely valid. It's just that a lot of the times, the real world is just a lot muddier than that. It's not always like cut and dry, black and white. And it's kind of like what's interpreted by one person is one thing and what's interpreted by another person is another thing, can like lead to a lot of subjectivity to this sort of thing, especially if you don't know what actually happened. So fact of the matter is something really bad did happen in like a mental health format. Like the person who got terminated was not in a good way. So that does suggest that they need some, I think, recompense for that. And I think that's totally valid. And I think them extracting that from their former employer makes sense. And that's why legal action would be warranted. But it's just that, like, anything beyond that, I think, is just really just a lot of speculation. Just a lot of unknown, like, a lot of guessing. Because it's like, one thing that's kind of incredible about people is that you don't need a lot of information to string them together to make something make sense to your brain. But you'd be surprised how much editorializing it takes for you to, like, make that whole thing. And you don't realize how flimsy it is until it like runs into reality and you realize that things aren't the way they are. There's been a lot of like studies and other stuff out there how like memory is more creativity than it is fact when it comes, because you remember little bits of information and then your brain strings them together in a way that makes sense, but that might not be true. That might actually not be what actually happened. And then some people have been like surprised when they see like recordings and things like that and they're like, oh shit, was that how it happened? Things like that. So it's just things aren't as certain as people like to make them out to be, and a lot of people are saying a lot of things that are kind of crazy. And if something really bad did happen, it'll be addressed. That's kind of, I have like faith that that's kind of how this is going to occur. And I think a bunch of strangers on the internet getting involved in the situation and trying to push for something to happen isn't really going to help the proper things occur. You know what I mean? Because this is a sort of situation that deserves like, if legal action does occur, it deserves thorough investigation, and then like a really like a thorough sort of fact-finding process, and then like it should go through the proper channels so that everything happens properly instead of it being like a bloodbath. You know what I mean? Because right now it's already very ugly. A lot of people are getting harassed. People are like getting flooded with negativity. And it's all based off of speculation and just nothing. There's really nothing concrete there, and it's kind of the worst possible situation. That's why you don't want these things that's why you don't want this kind of information to get out and then sit where it is. Yeah, don't hash out your legal proceedings online. It's stupid and ugly. There's a reason these things are kept confidential and private. So yeah. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I have a little legal experience, nothing professional or anything like that, but that's kind of my 2 cents. It's just, I think I see a lot of people out there who like really like it when things get exciting, but I think one thing I've learned repeatedly is that real life is sometimes just more boring than you think it is. Like things are just things aren't like TV shows or movies. Sometimes they're more dull than you'd expect them to be, and it's like really extraordinary things do happen every day, but expecting them to happen all the time is not really, it's not very accurate, and it doesn't really match how like the world works, in my opinion. Everyone always assumes the worst. Kurt is addressing the people. Yeah. Life's very mundane. It's like sometimes like exciting things do happen, but you want to make sure that you understand everything before you act. I guess. I don't know. I don't really have anything really strong or firm to say after that. It's just, that was kind of the totality of it. Just a little PSA. Just because, I like VTubers. I like VTubing. I've been having fun streaming, despite it being kind of like a dumb little thing I do on the weekends. But, I've been having some fun, like, just kind of like trying things out and sort of, exploring the side of myself, because I don't get a lot of opportunities to, because most of what I do during the day is boring. So, having something a little wacky, a little weird, kind of helps, give my life some texture, some flavor, some spice. And one thing I really like about VTubers is that it's just kind of, despite like the cracks showing here and there and some negativity seeping out, for the most part, I feel like I've seen a lot of positivity that I don't see otherwise. I think streamers, especially streamers on like Twitch, tend to have a lot of, drama and like poison just kind of floating around, just because it's sort of it's like this sort of like unmitigated, unregulated sort of morass of mankind mixed in with like, because like gamers and other people who like build up their sort of lives around entertainment media sometimes just get involved in some really crazy shit, and then you lead to these big like public blowouts that are just really weird and kind of baffling. And it just kind of, I've noticed that there always seems to be a caveat whenever you watch someone. It's just like, oh, you watch this streamer, well, did you know about this thing that they got involved with, or this thing that happened? It's like, oh yeah, 3 more guys, like, you know, hey, another YouTuber got outed as a groomer. Is it real? I don't know. This Discord conversation I look at is really convincing. Who knows? and people are just constantly like flinging shit at each other, and it's brutal. And I don't see, I've only seen that a little bit with VTubers. There is drama, but like it comes and goes, and I feel like the baseline is always generally pretty positive, and I get a little bothered whenever some other shit gets involved. So yeah, I'd like to hope people would help maintain that to some extent. Just kind of have a healthy appreciation for facts and understand that the internet's just a weird, crazy place. We're not here to hash out. I'm not here to solve any problems. I'm not here to talk about any real like issues. I'm just here to have fun, and so are you guys, I'd assume. So that's just kind of. I don't think we should. I think we should save other things for more appropriate circumstances. Yeah. Anywho, I think that'll be it for me. Kurt, you weren't here for this, but basically, I'm not totally certain how streaming is going to be going this weekend. I'm going to try to stream at the usual times tomorrow and Sunday, but I might not have the opportunity to, is the gist of it. So, yeah, I'll have this VOD up. Honestly, I'll try to have this VOD up ASAP, maybe like tomorrow at the latest, and then we can. I'll try to have it up tonight if I can, and yeah, that'll be about it. I'll mark off the chapters so that if people don't wanna hear me just kind of like whinge about stuff at the end of the video, they can just leave. Yeah, safe travels. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Twitch has VODs too. That's crazy. I forget about those. I'm not going to upload the YouTube VOD tonight. Then I don't need to. I'll put it up. Nah. I'll just try to put up tonight anyway. I'll get the thumbnail together real quick and then slap it up there. But yeah, that'll be it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked Alan Wake 2. I liked it a lot. I definitely play this game again, and it looks like I will be. So I will see you guys next time. I'm gonna have to think pretty hard this next week about what to replace this game with, because there's a lot out, but simultaneously I'm not sure what to play. So we'll see. Look forward to the next schedule, and then maybe I'll have it figured out by then. Anyway, that'll be all. I talked too much tonight. See you guys next time. Bye bye.